Hey, gun people. This is a pretty good video, and it's going to be a little bit long. And I'm having a jack. So, if you don't want to listen to me ramble, this is a call where a guy, he says he's an off-duty cop, but I think he says he's a probation officer. So, I don't know if that music's coming in or not. Alexa, stop. So, this guy does a lot of things that I just can't believe he does. I tell people, when you help somebody, you take your life in your hands. This guy helps a woman who's in a domestic dispute when he's got his 2 kids in his house sleeping. And he brings her in. And the guy ends up kicking his door in. And he's on 911 the whole time. And I'm going to go through some things that he could have done better. And give my opinion on it. And if you don't like it or don't want to listen to it, well, that's okay too. Here's the channel it's on. And that's the name of the video. So let's get to the video here and see if you guys think I'm a big bad guy for picking on this guy.
What is your emergency?
Hey, my name is At my resident. I have a domestic dispute going on in the front yard. I don't know who the people are.
Okay, what's your address? Okay, you don't know who?
He dialed 911, so maybe he's on a cell phone. That's why they had to ask address. I'm thinking he's on a cell phone because he runs around, he goes downstairs, etc. So that's why they asked for the address.
Who they are?
No, I got a young woman sitting in the front of my yard, and I got another guy in a car that's leaving. Man,
okay. What race is he?
He's threatening me right now.
What race is he?
So he says he's threatening me right now. He didn't say who or what the threat was. And how can he be threatening him if he's in his house? So it tells me he's on the phone standing outside his door. So he's already involved. He's already invited this. But Rick, he should help. And if a woman's getting beat up, isn't the man's responsibility to be a good man and to protect her? Look, you big dummies. If you get involved, people who are getting beat by men in relationships and arguing, pick the relationship, stay in the relationship. If you think somehow you are just lucky to somehow this woman got surprised that this guy beats her and abuses her, and it just happened to be the first time in your front yard, and you're there with the big cape to save her, well, then you go ahead and bring them in your house and risk your kid's life. I'm not doing that, but this guy, I think, could have shot him earlier, and he didn't. But let's go on.
I don't know what he's getting in a car right now.
If this guy's a cop and he's getting in a car, he's the worst cop ever. That's why I think he's a probation officer. He doesn't give a physical description. He doesn't say what the man's wearing, doesn't say what he looks like, doesn't describe the car, doesn't say he's leaving. This guy, the dispatcher has to pull information out of him, which tells me this guy, if he is a cop, he's a pretty crappy cop, and he's not real versed in giving out good detailed information at dispatch so they can get officers' information when they come.
He's got the car keys.
Okay, what race is the female and male?
She's white. I got a white female. She's wearing a green shirt and blue jeans. She's roughly 18 years old. White male. She's 22. White male. 21. Here he comes back.
So he's getting information from her. Notice how he said 22 and she goes 21. And so he's repeating what she's telling him. Can you believe what somebody's telling you? Maybe. If and buts coconuts. I mean, he should just be given a description. I mean, when you start trying to guess age, look, whatever. This guy just screws up so many places. When I listened to this, I was just like, what the hell?
Back.
Okay, what's he wearing?
He's got an orange shirt on. Fairly.
He don't have nothing. It does him. He's strong guy.
Never mind. He doesn't have a shirt on. Okay, but.
Okay.
So now this woman is giving him information. He could give her the phone and let dispatch talk to her. Now you would have her statement on record, which would be really smart, because then when she goes to court and said, I never said that, and I love him, and he didn't hit me, and this guy just dragged me in the house, and it's this guy's fault, and I love my husband, and if you arrest him, he'll go to jail, and he'll lose his job, and I'll be out of my house, so I love him, and I'm sorry I called the cops, please don't do anything to him. which happens in every domestic violence, any cop arrests anybody. So anytime you can lock down one of the domestic partners in a recorded statement, you need to do it. He could have gave her the phone. Now somebody's going to say, well, I wouldn't give some crazy woman a phone. He brought her in his freaking house with his kids when she's being chased by a violent dude. And his gun's downstairs, and I don't even think it's loaded. He's got to load the damn thing. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm sorry, I digress. Let me have a sip of my Coke and listen.
Okay. We're right at the corner.
Yeah.
What kind of car is that?
Grand Prix.
He's in a Grand Prix. Staying outside his Grand Prix yelling stuff at us.
Oh my car. He took my car.
Okay, he's coming back now. I'm going to go get my firearm. He's coming back now.
Okay, is she injured?
Huh?
Is she
Get in here,
injured?
ma'am. Get in here.
Ma'am, get in here. I got to go get my firearm. Well, you know what? Call me paranoid. I never have to go get a firearm in my house without walking 3 to 5 feet. Okay? If you're in my house, I can get to a firearm within arm's reach. Usually no matter where I'm at. Rick, that's not normal. All right, whatever. But guess what? I don't have to go down to the basement to get my firearm.
All right, I'm going to get my gun upstairs.
You hear that dog in the background? In a minute, he tells dispatch, I got a dog that's going to eat him up. Then the guy's in his house cornering a woman. He's like, get him. And the dog's like, what? What? He's not doing anything. Hang on. I don't want to get ahead of this. He's digging for his safe, looking for his key, unlocking the safe, trying to figure out where his ammo's
I'm wearing
at.
a white T-shirt and a pair of blue shorts.
Okay.
Again, I'm an off-duty conservation officer.
I couldn't tell what he said. I'm an off-duty what? Is it probation, correctional, something? And he says he's wearing blue shorts or green shorts, and later he corrects it. He don't even know what color shorts he's got on. He tells the dispatch he changes his description.
This one's eight, ma'am.
Are you inside? You got everybody inside the house?
Yes. Ma'am, stay right there. I have 2 kids in this other room. I don't want you to move. You understand? I also have a dog in here. It'll eat him as well.
Watch this dog eat him later.
What did you say you were wearing again?
I got a white Notre Dame Fighting Irish T-shirt on and a blue pair of, green shorts.
So he told him blue earlier, he told him blue again, and now he just changed it to green. At least he's got a Fighting Irish shirt on. I'll give him that.
All right, I've got my duty firearm now.
Okay.
As well as a badge on.
Okay.
Now that's smart. Even though he's not a cop and he's not on duty, putting a badge on, most cops identify a badge and it will cause them to pause instead of shooting immediately. So if they end up coming in and they see him with a gun and they'll notice that badge, that could help save his life. So I'm okay with him putting that badge on.
Is he still outside?
As far as I know, I went down to the basement real quick to grab my duty firearm.
Uh-huh. You said you're a 13? Okay.
Yeah, well, when you come up from the basement, your house on fire, remember you were down in the basement getting your firearm while he was lighting your house on fire. Rick, why you pick? Oh, be quiet.
Okay.
Dispatchers didn't look like that when I was working. Anyway.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, you're fine.
I don't know what's wrong.
Okay, he's still out here, and here he comes.
I got the keys.
Give me them keys.
I was right there in the apartment. He just started.
You notice she's still running her mouth and yelling and probably talking to him and antagonizing. That's what happens when you get in somebody else's business when they're fighting. Who thinks this is the first time that she knew her husband was going to beat her? Raise your hand. If you got your hand up, you're an idiot.
Started going crazy.
Okay, yeah, we got 2 off.
Okay, here he is. Sir? Stay away from my house. You understand me now? Get back from my door. Get back from the door. Listen, the Decatur police are on their way. Do not try to come into this house. Do you understand? I do have a firearm. Get back. Stand back from my house. and lay on the ground. Do you understand me? Do you understand me?
When you try to give somebody directions and you're inside the house, there's no motivation or reason for them to listen to you. This guy lost credibility. When he said stay away from my door, I'm kind of okay with that. I'd have been a little bit more forceful. I've got a gun, and if you enter this door, I'm going to shoot you. Okay? Stay out of my house. You're not authorized. You're trespassing. Get off my property. Get in your car. Get the hell out of here. I don't care where you go, but you come through this door, you're trespassing, and I'm shooting you. So I'd have been a little bit more forceful on that. But now he starts ordering the guy to get on the ground. And I always say this with cops. When cops order people to do things and there's no way to enforce it, you kind of set yourself up to fail. It's like if you tell a guy to get on the ground, he goes, no. And you go, get on the ground now. No. Get on the ground now or I'm gonna shoot you. No. He knows you can't shoot him. You can't shoot him. You just keep losing ground and losing credibility. And the crooks start figuring out you don't know what the hell you're doing. You're an idiot. This guy behind the door, not pointing a gun at him, yelling through the door, telling him to get on the ground. This guy's not going to get on the ground. He has no motivation to get on the ground. Rick, violence doesn't solve anything, and violence solves everything. That's why government has guns, so they can enforce their rules with violence. Stop repeating the ignorance. I digress. Let's get back to the guy in the basement with his gun.
And I'm an off-duty police officer. Get back from my house now.
Think about Landon. What is wrong with you?
Listen to me.
Notice she's still yelling at him? Who could have predicted that? Where's Ray Charles at?
Oh my God, look,
Sir,
4-year-old son.
if you try to come into this house, do you understand me?
Another idle threat. The guy kicks his door in, and he doesn't do anything.
Stand back from my house. Got it. Stuart, get back! Stuart, get back! Get back! Stuart, get back now! Stuart, I will shoot you. Get back! Stuart, get back! He kicked in the door.
So now we have a guy that you don't know that's ignored you, that's kicked in your door. He's in the house with your 2 kids now, and you haven't shot yet. And you're talking to dispatch. And what happened to your dog that was going to chew him up? I mean, this thing, I was just like, what the hell? Who is this guy? What?
Sir, get down and lay on the ground. Sir, I'm a police officer. Get down. I have 2 kids in here. Daisy, get him.
Who thinks deadly force is authorized? Well, I'm with you. If you said yes, I'm with you. As soon as he kicked that door in, you were in fear of your life. He committed a violent act. He was trespassing. He was committing battery or in a domestic feud. You told him the cops. You warned him. He kicked your door and forcibly entered. It's reasonable. It is almost presumed that you're in danger when somebody kicks your door in after you tell them you have a gun, don't come in. Deadly force was authorized as soon as he kicked that door and entered that house. Now, if he kicked the door and didn't come in, now we're into if and buts, maybe coconuts, I don't know. But as soon as he enters that threshold, absolutely 100%.
Sir, I have 2 kids in here. Get back. Get back. Sir, get back away from me. Sir, get back away. I have 2 kids in here. Get back away from me. Lay on the ground now. Lay on the ground now. Sir, no, I will not shoot you. Get back away from me.
Did he just tell him, I will not shoot you? Let's hear that again.
No. Sir, no, I will not shoot you. Get away.
So I think the guy said, shoot me. So now he's into a suicide by cop. He wants to die in front of his girlfriend. He wants to have you shoot him so he can bleed all over your nice carpet. So when your kids wake up and come out of the room, they can see daddy kill somebody. All because you got involved in something that was none of your business. You could have been a good witness and called from inside the house and minded your own business and let the cops handle it when they're in uniform and let them deal with it. But instead, you're now knee-deep, and now both your kids are at risk of being hurt, killed, or injured, or exposed to some negative event that's going to traumatize them for life because you wanted to get involved. Well, Rick, it's the right thing to do, and I can't believe you're telling people not to get involved. That's not... Oh, shut up. Look, I'm telling you. You can get involved. I'm not saying I necessarily wouldn't get involved in anything, but you need to evaluate the risk and reward for getting involved and how bad things can go very quickly.
Back away from me. My 2 kids are sleeping right at my feet, and he's got me backed into a corner.
Okay, we've got several officers on the way now. We got about 4 officers back your way.
Go outside and lay on the ground.
So he's got you backed into a corner in your house with a gun. In a minute, I think he says he's got her pinned in the corner.
He's got her in the corner.
So now he's got her in the corner. He's backed in the corner. His dog that was going to eat him ain't bit nobody. His kids are in the house. The cops ain't there. His door's been kicked in. Who thinks this was a good plan? Well, Rick, you can't plan everything because, things are out. You can what if this to death, If a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass when he jumped. But I'm telling you, this is totally 100% this guy's fault for getting involved. And he did not have a plan. He didn't carry through a plan. He's making a lot of threats. And this thing is just going out of control, farther and farther and farther.
He's got her in the corner. Sir, get away from there and lay on the ground.
So now he can't even shoot the guy if he wants to. And now if this guy pulls out a knife and cuts her throat in his house and kills her, then what? Well, then he has to shoot him. He's got 2 dead bodies for his kids to see.
You know what, Landon? You have to
He's got his corner. He's got her pinned in the corner.
Okay, sir, where's your dog at?
The dog is right here with me. Daisy, come here, Daisy. Hey, Daisy. Sir, get back.
Okay, so let me explain why Daisy isn't attacking. Daisy's probably never seen Dad freaking screaming with a gun and yelling and having a door and having strangers and having a woman yelling and have another guy run and yell at a woman and having his owner scream and yell with a gun, and he knows everything's jacked up. The dog's so confused, so doesn't know what to do. Dog's probably been hit or bit or hit or kicked or something, corrected for biting other people in the house. So he's like, hey man, when people come in the house, I guess it's okay. And Dad's screaming and yelling, I don't want to get in trouble. That's why the dogs don't respond when people get out of control and start yelling at their dog. But let's continue here.
Sir, get back. Sir, I can't. Get back. Get back. Okay. I one shot down. He's been shot. Sir, just get back.
Okay, so I think when the speaker goes down is when he fired a shot. And you can tell this guy goes immediately into hyperventilating, and now he's really not thinking clearly. And now he shot some guy in his house. His daughters or his kids probably aren't sleeping now because Dad's firing a gun and screaming, yelling at Daisy, and the woman's yelling, and the guy's yelling, and his door's been kicked in. And my guess is the kids aren't sleeping. If they are, man, they get the sleeping award of the century.
Get back. Okay. I one shot down. He's been shot. Sir, just get back.
You shot him?
Get back.
Sir, did you say you shot him?
I shot right between the chest, yeah.
You shot him in between the chest?
Yes, right in the chest. He's got me cornered in my house.
Okay, that's fine.
Here now.
You said you shot him right between the chest?
Yeah.
All right. We got him coming.
Good God, please get somebody here.
They're on their way. We got 7 officers coming.
My 2 kids are on the ground sleeping right in my...
Okay, here's a little tip for you people that think cops are going to come in. In a minute, he's going to say there's one officer there, but he's waiting for another officer. Remember, when you call police, they will not go into a violent situation by themselves. They will park a block away and wait for other officers. So if you think they're coming fast, even after the first cop gets there, he's going to stage and wait for a second officer. And that's exactly what happens here. So for all you people that think you should give up your guns because government will protect you and you have 911 and all you have to do is call and the police magically appear like the Lucky Charms guy and then saves the day, well, it just doesn't happen that way.
My feet.
Got 7 officers coming.
My 2 kids are on the ground sleeping right at my feet. Good God.
Okay,
ma'am, please.
Calm down, sir.
Ma'am, please. Lay down on the ground. You lay down on the ground, too.
Okay. Is he bleeding? Yes?
Yes, he's bleeding.
No, I shot him in the chest and he's not bleeding. The bullet bounced off. What the hell do you mean is he bleeding? He shot him in the chest. Of course he's bleeding.
He's not moving. He's laying face down on my floor.
Okay, he's not moving. He's face down. Is he breathing?
Ma'am, please. I have 2 children on the floor here.
So this guy is highly overtasked. He's trying to control the woman. He's just shot a guy. He's trying to control his dog. He's trying to talk to dispatch. He's trying to compose himself. He's just overtasked right now, and he can't keep up. And he's being a scatterbrain, and it's all being recorded. And it could go in his favor to show that it was a chaotic scene later. But man, why did he open a door and invite this into his house?
This is my home, for the love of God. Please stay there. The Decatur police.
The fire department, there's an officer that's just coming off there right now, okay? He's going to wait for his backup.
There you go. There's an officer there, but he's waiting for backup. You're on your own. If he's stabbing you and killing your kids, don't worry. The officer's waiting for the other officer. I mean, I just don't get how people can want to say gun control is a good thing. You don't need a gun to defend yourself because you have 911 and the police. I just don't get that mentality. I mean, being a cop all years, I've seen it left and right. It just made me sick that policy prevents cops from helping a lot of people. And there's cops that would help and that would go in, but they would violate policy and they would get in trouble. And so government's going to protect government. You are not the priority. Government is a priority. They just told you that. They're not sending an officer with a gun and a bulletproof vest and a radio that could come help you. They have stopped him and told him to wait until another officer gets there. So you are on your own. But don't worry, you got a phone in your hand and there's some nice dispatcher dude talking to you.
Sir?
God, please.
Sir?
Yes.
Is he breathing?
I can hear it. There's blood everywhere. Listen, I can hear him.
Okay, sir.
I'm back away from
Sir, there are officers outside. You need to secure your weapon, okay?
Yes, I'm going to put it. I'm setting it on the ground.
Ain't no damn way I'm setting my gun on the ground with a crazy woman when I just shot her boyfriend that she was fighting with and she's acting like a maniac. It just ain't happening. But again, this guy has backed himself into this corner and put himself in this position. And now government wants to tell him, we ain't coming in till you lay down, till you disarm yourself. Really?
Right where I'm at. She's right in between the door.
Okay, sir. I need to know, is he breathing?
Yes, he
is breathing?
He's gasping.
He's gasping?
Face down and gasping.
Okay, he's gasping. Okay, sir, there are officers outside.
What's his name? Do you want me to open him to let the officers in?
Yeah, let the officers in. Make sure you tell them who you are.
But I have my gun here.
Put your gun down.
Okay.
Put your gun down, sir.
Do not ever listen to dispatch. They are not cops. You do not have to listen to them. And when you listen to them, if it goes bad, they are not responsible. You are on the phone with them voluntarily. You called them voluntarily. They could tell you to walk on your head, put the gun in your mouth, and squeeze the trigger, and then the cops will know you're safe. And if you do it, you're an idiot. But I'm telling you, don't ever listen to dispatch, okay? Unlock the door. I mean, look, there's a lot of ways to handle this. I'm not laying my gun down. I might crack the door and yell out, hey, man, I'm the homeowner. I got a gun. Don't tell me to drop my freaking gun. I'm opening the door. I've got the guy at gunpoint. When you guys come in and secure the dude, then I'll put my gun down. Now, this guy was never armed, so laying a gun down, if it was only him, wouldn't be a bad thing. But you got still the crazy woman in here. You could kick her out of the house, open the door and say, get out of my house and go talk to the police. Then you get her out of the house, then you lay your gun down, and then you call the cops in. I mean, it's just a bad situation.
Hold on, I'm coming to the door now.
We're letting them know you're coming to the door.
Here I am right here. I'm laying down. My 2 children are on the floor in there. I'm going to set the phone down.
Okay, sir, I'm going to let you go.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
I'm laying down. So now he's proned out in his own house. He's the victim, and he's getting proned out. What a stinking mess. But you know what? I know there's going to be some of you out there. Rick, he did the right thing. He helped that poor woman. Well, okay, that's great. He did the right thing. Got a big blood stain. Guy dying in his living room on a carpet. His kids are seeing this. screaming, bullets, cops in his house. Now it's a crime scene. Now it's a murder investigation. Cops will be there for 6-8 hours. The next day, he'll be kicked out. Search warrants, seizing his guns. Next time a guy comes to his house in the next week, he won't have a gun because the cops are going to seize his gun because it was used in a homicide. Yeah, that worked out great. All right. There's really no right answer here or good way to do it. I'm just giving you guys things to think about. It is what it is, and we'll end that there. Argue it out in the comments on how wrong I am.